What's up guys, welcome to today's video. A little bit of a backstory. So I told you guys that I wanted to take the Evo to the track on Friday, got rained out, super late at the shop last night, Friday night, and decided that Saturday morning it would be a good idea to go to the track since the firm has open track days Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The weekends are a little bit more crowded, but I think they usually split it into classes, so it's still pretty good seat time. So anyway, didn't get much sleep, got like 4 hours of sleep, and then sure enough, like halfway through the drive, got a flat tire, so I'm running late. Give you guys like a background. My goal today, last time I was at the track, I think I ran a 116, and with the Porsche I was at like a 115, I think, and I want to get down into that 115, maybe even a 114 region, just so you have an idea like what's changed with the car since last time. Suspension wise, the main thing is I'm now from a 245/40 R888 to a 255/40 RE71R, which you guys have said are fast. You just got to make sure you don't get them too hot. I've changed tire pressures a little bit. I'm running a little bit more in back than before and a little bit more in front, but more in back relative to the front. I think I was on the sidewall a little bit too much in the front before, like doing some more Evo research. Other than that, alignment specs pretty much the same. I did try pulling with caster, but I didn't really have enough room with clearance in the fenders. I already kind of rub a little bit with the 255s if I'm like more than like one turn with lock. But one thing I did do, I have about an 1/8 inch toe in the rear of my Evo the last track day. This track day, I'll have about 0 toe in the rear. So hopefully we can get it to kind of rotate a little bit more on the corners, oversteer, whatever you want to call it, instead of just pushing everywhere. Because having that 1/8 inch toe in kind of gives it a lot of rear bite and makes it want to go forward, which probably isn't helping the whole push factor. So I'm gonna work on my driving style. I've got a little bit stiffer rear bar, or so I think. It might be the same as the one before. It's really hard to tell with it on the car, but at least this one I know is adjustable and I have it on the stiffest setting. I have the Evo 8 RS, or Evo 8 rear diff in the US is what you would just call it, re-shimmed to hopefully lock up a little bit more. Hopefully that'll help with a little rotation. Everything is based on rotation. And then drivetrain wise, the really differences that I have in the front, I fixed up a boost leak from a crack in the intercooler with some JB weld, and hopefully I won't have any overboosting issues anymore, since now I effectively have a line going to my wastegate, where before there's just basically an open port on my compressor housing. So in addition to overboosting and doing lots of weird stuff, I now should have better transient response because I don't have a massive boost leak, and I fixed my O2 sensor that was actually broken the last time, so now I'll have it in closed loop with the ECU. So if you remember it breaking up a bunch last time, that's just because Jamie added a bunch of extra fuel in for safety, so partial throttle was a little rich and it was a little hard to modulate the throttle coming through the corners. So hopefully just the changes to make it like, you know, smoother power band, and not have so many hiccups, plus the suspension changes will make the car extremely fast. Because I know you guys were saying the RE71 should be good for at least a second faster time, based on the fact that I was using the R888s, but we'll see. Like I said, there's probably gonna be a lot of traffic out there today, but I'm just trying to go have fun and see how the new setup changes go. I've very much so been enjoying the grip driving, and I hope you guys have been with the videos, just because for me it's not so much going and try to do the fastest lap times, but trying to perfect the Evo, learn more about the chassis, learn more about how to drive it at its limit, and learn more as a driver. Because driving all-wheel drive is much different than the rear-wheel drive stuff I'm used to, and it's like a different driving style. And then every time I watch footage, I'm like, oh man, I should be doing this differently, I should hit this corner differently. So it's exciting, and I'm like thinking all week about what I want to do different next time I go back out. And with that in mind too, it would be really cool to just throw some Hoosier like slicks on the car. But one of the reasons why I'm continuing to run street tires right now is A, I would really like to get into time attack sometime down the road, and those are the tires that'll end up probably running in time attack. And B, I'm still such a novice in terms of my understanding of the car control on track, and there's just so many variables that I don't want to mask a lot of setup that I can tweak with the car by putting Hoosier slicks on the car and then having it be faster because I have a good tire. I'd rather get the car to its limit on some street tires, that way when I put slicks on, it's like already kind of set up, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to go out there. I know this was kind of a lengthy intro, but there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about, and I get really camera shy when there's people around, so I figured I would talk to you guys while I'm in the comfort of my own truck. Did I mention I got a flat tire? That sucked. But we good now. The song's an oldie, but it's a good one if you haven't heard it. Alright, I'm gonna try my best to just get a feel for the car with all the new setup changes and not go pushing it too crazy right off the bat. Do a couple laps, come back in, check for leaks and all that stuff because I got the new pan and everything, and just feel the car out with the new setup, see how the grip feels, see how the new sway bar feels, and just kind of get a hang for it. There's a lot of people on track, so I'm just gonna kind of do my thing and let you guys know what I think about the new tires and all the changes that we've made. I'm really curious if this thing's gonna rotate or not, and if it's gonna rub. Feels good so far. Interesting. I think I'm probably gonna rub through my fender well, but that's okay. Get some heat in the tires, focus on my line. The car runs so much better. I really want to work on my trail braking. Last time I was definitely getting lazy with it and kind of just like easying around. Got a little oversteer there. I know also I've been kind of like braking a little late, not getting on throttle soon enough. So I'm going to work on getting on throttle a little sooner. A little bit of rubbing there. I think it'll be okay. Car feels good. A little bit better on the trail brake there. Power a little bit sooner. Wow, these tires have a lot more grip. Wow, it's impressive. So again on throttle a little late. I gotta work on getting the car to rotate a little so I can get kind of in the throttle sooner. A little bit of rub in. Check release real quick. Car seems a lot happier though, that's for sure. Oh my god, I was just running with the AC on. How funny. No leaks, still a little bit of residual oil burning off though from when I had it spill out of the dipstick. So I just smelt a little bit and wanted to check on that. I do want to keep an eye though on the overflow because it does appear as if it did push quite a bit into it. It didn't overflow yet, but I was also driving around with AC on, so that could have had an effect as well. I know a lot of people commented about me going down, or up, I should say, from 100 tread wear up to 200 tread wear, but from what everyone told me, even though this tire that I'm on now is rated as a 200 tread wear, it's like extremely more grippy compared to the other one. You can hear the rear diff making noise now. We're just going to try to do a nice smooth lap and see kind of roughly what the time is, not pushing it really that hard. Earlier so I can get on power sooner. Oh, look at that, guys, we drifted Evo. So fun.
corner still terrifies me. Oh, rub-a-dub-dub. It'll be interesting to look, see if we're carrying a lot more speed than before. Like through that corner, especially with the new tire. Since that's probably where it'll be most apparent. Tires are a lot more forgiving. 119, not bad. For just kind of like a chill warm-up lap, it's a really good starting point. I mean, my fender liners are already kind of messed up, so I guess it's not the end of the world if I need to get a new set, but what I did on that corner, I realized I was understeering a lot, the banked one, because I was basically pulling over my sidewall because the banked corner has so much pressure there. Probably why I'm rubbing up there. But the only way to avoid that would be to go really, really high with my ride height, which I don't really want to do. Bit of lap traffic, but we'll try a flying lap and see how she goes. Wow. Less understeer than before, which is good. Yeah! Yo guys, we just did a 116. With a pass, chilling. That's sick. 116.6. And I feel like there's so much more room left in the car. I don't remember what I did last time, but we're definitely getting to the 115s. No doubt about it. Traffic might mess up my lap time a little bit. Line was off a little bit, but we can save it. Oh, line was super off there. $116.13. Oh my god, we're definitely getting the 115s today, guys. That's sick. Still so much room to improve that lap. Wow, this is so fun. Thank you guys for recommending me these tires. I'm sold. Wow. It's crazy, my brakes work better too because of the new tires, because I'm not skidding anymore. nice and early. Be real nice with my inputs. Full gas. 115.30. Bro, we're almost in the 114s. Well, it's so stupid because I'm just like trying to beat myself, but I'm so pumped. I've barely even gotten a grasp of what the car can handle, and I've already met my goal of being just as fast, if not faster, than myself driving the GT3 on freaking 325s is what the GT3 is on. I'm on 255s in a car from 1999 doing the same time on a car that I spent well over 6 figures on. That was supposed to be a fast race car, and then this stupid little guy running up an old 90s Japanese car, lapping him. I'm so pumped on this thing. This is just the beginning, guys. I got some big news coming for you, Evo related. I can still brake later too. I'm like just on the tip of what these tires are capable of. Car still was consuming coolant. I tried bleeding it again. I have two hypotheses. Either A, maybe the turbo is consuming coolant, or B, maybe I have a bad radiator cap. So I'm gonna go ask and see if anyone will let me borrow a radiator cap. But I'm gonna go do a couple more laps real quick just to see if it does the same problem again after I reblood it. If you're curious, I did create a lot more pressure. You scared me. Thank you. Oh, you just put it there. I thought there was like a fire or something with everyone yelling.
Nah, you freaking running it over. It was sitting up against the exhaust.
Got it. Thank you. Noob. That apex. All nice and early, dancing around. That's fun. More pressure in the rear. Not the best trail braking in that corner, but I still should let myself get on throttle early. Oh, this line's terrible there. Still might be able to salvage it. 114.8. I'm gonna do a cool down. I think this car might have a 113 in it. With how much I messed up that last corner, I just really need to trail brake. That was my biggest problem watching back the footage before. I realized like I've done driving schools. I know how to trail brake, and watching the footage, I'm just braking in a straight line, releasing and turning in, like with no sort of precision or grace. And the whole concept behind it is you need to not make the tires do many things at once. So if while you're bleeding off the brakes, you can start turning in. Easier. It's kind of hard for me to explain while I'm driving on a racetrack, but man, I'm pumped. All right, 113. Probably carry a little more speed there next time. Not the fastest, but smooth. Not the smoothest. A little bit slower than my last time so far. Taking a quick glance. little time there. Let's see if doing the other corner probably is gonna help. Trail braking in that corner is probably the easiest, because it feels natural. Better line there for sure. And a little bit better line there. Starting to get a little grease, but we'll get back in there. 114.77. Oh yeah, we're pushing coolant. I'm gonna take her back. I'll try another radiator cap. Hopefully that'll do the trick. In case you're curious, to run a 114, this is the lunch that you gotta eat. I'm hoping to get down into the 113s. This pizza is gonna do the trick. So speaking with some of the guys that work at the track here, I might try to see if I can get one of them to ride with me and try to give me some input. But it turns out the fendered car record here, basically anything that's not open wheel, is a 112.5. And they found out that I wasn't running slicks. And my street Evo could very well break the track record at the firm if I just threw slicks on it. Because if I'm doing a mid 114, there's a very good possibility that I could pull 2 seconds by switching to slicks. So my goal right now, it sounds ridiculous because today my goal is to get in the 115s. I want to get in the 113s. I think I can shave off another at least half a second just from driver error and stuff that I know that I was doing wrong. So I'm gonna set up the cameras on the front and the back of the car and everything. Let's see what we can do. The car, it doesn't have like a head issue, and maybe it's just overheating. Maybe it needs better cooling. I don't have a coolant temp gauge in it. I just have the stock gauge, which never really moves. Maybe it isn't working. So I have software where I can pull up a log from the car and see what's going on and check what it's doing. yet, but 114.35, we're getting there. Just out of curiosity, I went into the data that this thing gets, and I pulled up my track day from the last time I was here with the Evo when I had the wastegate line that was off. So this thing running full boost had about an extra 3 or 4 mile an hour on the straight. That's crazy, because that'd be like 3 or 4 mile an hour on a drag strip almost, which is a huge difference. This thing was moving. With a close-up, you can definitely tell how sticky that these tires were. Very happy with them, but what everyone said about them really getting greasy after like 1 or so hot lap was true. But for what I'm doing and just trying to get lap times, they worked really well. It's addicting, right? Like my goal today was to beat the Porsche time, which was like a 1:15.5 or something like that. And I broke into the low 114, 1:14.35. So I will tell you guys that I am pretty sure that the head has to be lifted. So I finally was able to log coolant temps and check them, and the hottest it gets on track is only 200 degrees. And I tried a different radiator cap, still same issue. So the car isn't necessarily getting hot, but it's building a lot of pressure in the coolant system and blowing it out. What would cause pressure to go in the coolant system? Bad head gasket, because you're losing combustion and it's pushing into the radiator, or all your coolant passages, whatever. And then it's going out the overflow, and then I'm getting steam, and then my car's mad. So sad, but I'm glad that I was able to test the car. I'm gonna talk to a couple people. Apparently there's a possibility that I may have broken the street tire record, because the record for the track's only 112.5 only. And that was on like some crazy slick, like a full slick. I don't remember what company, maybe a Pirelli slick. And I'm in the low 114s, and I know there's still a lot left in it. It'll do a 113 on the street tire, especially if I learn how to drive a little bit better. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell from the footage, but I was able to rotate it a little bit, getting on throttle a little sooner. Still a little understeer, but I think the car is loads better than it was before. I also started experimenting more with like running more pressure in the rear. But what I will say is I do kind of want to throw some slicks on this and see if we could beat the track record, because I don't know, if I'm at a 114.35 and the track record's a 112.5, is it possible to shave 2 seconds off with slicks? I don't know, you guys tell me. Maybe we try it. Stay tuned.